What I was going to say was I really have to reevaluate our friendship because I've heard some disturbing news about you.
Really?
Yeah, you're a criminal.
Oh no, what did I do?
You are a copyright infringer.
I know.
I really have to reevaluate my choices and our friendship, is what
I
I'm
just
saying.
want you to know, Nathan, that I got accused of copyright infringement from another person.
You did not.
Tiffany
You're a
Reese.
serial copyright infringer?
I'm a serial copyright infringer.
Oh my God. I have to go to the police.
You shouldn't hitch your wagon to me.
No. This, I was hitching my wagon to your star, and then like every other star, you disappoint me.
Scrolling through my feed, all I see is bullshit. Fake news, clickbait, gotta sift through all of it. Oh. Like share, retweet, trying to keep up with the trends, but it's all just a facade, man, it's all pretend. Online bullshit, that's all it is. You say you're living large, but I know it's just a myth. Online bullshit, can't you see? We're all caught up in the nonsense, it's time to break free.
I was so happy to find you because I was like, oh my God, like, and someone, a real person that's actually like, you'd actually done research, like you'd researched the whole story. I was like, wow. I mean, that's kind of what I've tried to do with my channel.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Go Do Your Own Research.
Well, you have so much information. First of all, we should say, welcome to our show, Sophie.
God, thank you for having me. Thank you for wanting to hear what I have to say.
Well, you have so much information about, first it was BJ / That Surprise Witness, which is what we talked about and how you found us. And then you are going into the It Ends With Us. I just want to call it bullshit because it just keeps going. And
I am so invested in that, and I know so much. Like the amount of information I have uncovered is almost making my head explode.
And that's what's making me more interested now. I don't know, maybe because BJ herself is so hard to watch.
You know what? Yeah, I'll let you into a little secret. The only reason why I found your podcast is because, I stopped being interested in BJ a long time ago. I made my videos and I was like, okay, I've said what I have to say. If anyone comes across these, they will see that she's a fraud. They will see that she's a faker. They'll see that she's a liar. They'll see that she's a grifter. But I'm not going to devote my channel to it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's very easy to just focus on one subject. But yeah, so I am still in touch with some of the original kind of group that got ostracized. And so, every now and again we'll have like a little, I'll be like, oh my God, did you see she did this? Da, 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 da. Like, obviously there was that little thing that happened with the whole Diddy trial. So anyway, because I'm in this Discord server, someone showed me how to use Twitter without having an account. So I think it's called X Cancel. It's like a website.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, I'm just going to look up this guy that followed that lawsuit because he used to always post about BJ. I was like, oh, there's a whole load of new BJ trolls. Because bear in mind when I first made my video, when I first was trying to find out what the hell was going on, I did a huge investigation into the trolling on Twitter and I discovered that it was all to do with Free Britney and everything. So yeah, I saw these new accounts and that's where I saw you had been someone had retweeted you, or you had replied to someone and they had reposted. So that was how I found it.
So that's how you found it. Good.
Yeah.
My thirstiness worked.
It actually did.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I was going to say is I do have a bit of an issue with those trolls because they have been trying to take down BJ, but yet when we came out with what we had gone through, they were just as bad to us. Do you know what I mean? And I saw one of them had posted something about Steph, High Priestess Steph. So she was the one whose Discord server we joined. because she deleted all her content. And like, the thing is, I can't speak for her, do you know what I mean? But I just think she was genuinely embarrassed because she had been making videos about BJ in support and everything. When all these weirdos came out of the woodwork and started acting all weird, she deleted all her videos because she felt embarrassed. And so then people started saying, well, she must have been a plant. She must have been paid. Why is she deleted all her videos? Do you know what I mean? And I did see, and so that is a conspiracy that is still running to this day. And it really annoys me because I'm like, I have said what had happened. I've come out. I've spoken about it. And you still choose to ignore the facts, and you still, you know, that's fine. Like, you can still be against BJ, but you're still getting the facts wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm remembering from your, I watched your Bam Margera episode.
Okay, the one about the documentary.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Documentary.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I found was interesting is when you were talking about the trolling, you were mentioning, I think her name was Melissa Nathan, who was like, I think a PR person for Paramount, who, like, you said something about, like, maybe all the trolling kind of began as a PR operation.
I don't think she was anything to do, well, we don't know if she was anything to do with Margera, but there's a guy called Deb Wallace who is. So let me just explain for anyone who doesn't know. Melissa Nathan is a long-standing public relations lady. She's from the UK, and I have been really, really looking into her background and really wanting to talk about her because I have talk about, like, getting way too close to home, yeah? So my background is before I do what I do now. I used to work in the fashion industry, yeah? So I used to have my own business, and I used to work with a lot of celebrities. I was on shoots every day with celebrities. So it turns out Melissa Nathan was doing PR for Rita Ora. Do you know that singer?
Yes, I do.
And
she's kind of less known for her singing and more for just like her presence in paparazzi or like other places.
It's Rita on the front. Sidebar, tries, I'm like, who is this woman? I mean, I think of her as a British socialite, like a beautiful girl who walks the red carpet for no reason. You know, they're like, what projects are you promoting? She's like, no, I'm just here.
Which is why I feel like you've probably heard of her, but you're probably not like, oh, she has that song, you know?
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard of her. Yeah.
She had her biggest song, I think, was called Hot Right Now. But anyway,
she's from Britain, so I wonder if her music makes more.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even when she first, so she was signed to Rock Nation when she was really young, and then she was doing like lots of photo shoots and stuff. Like, that's how I met her. And even then, like, people in the music scene were kind of taking the piss and going, "Oh, she's never going to release any music." Do you know what I mean? But now that now that I understand how they have these 360 deals with artists, do you know what I mean? Like, they'll find these artists. It's not about the music at all. That you're just a commodity or a commodity to them. You're like a brand that they can sell. Like, so she was doing like the Adidas. She did an Adidas collaboration. She's done like a shoe brand, you know, so she does all these different like brand deals that they then make money out of it. And she was on the X Factor. So come to find out, Melissa Nathan was doing PR. She's so secretive. This is the thing. It's very, very difficult to find any information about her online, but I've been digging. So I found out she was doing PR for Simon Cowell, who ran the X Factor, and I mean, let's not even get
I feel like has a lot of secrets of his own. I don't know any of them, but he's got that look.
You mean that face that he just keeps? Yeah,
the one that he just bought. Yes, it can't hide his secrets.
Right. His face is morphing into something. I don't know what yet. But basically, I mean, his history in the music industry, yeah, he's been involved with some shady people, beginning with P and ending in O. If you know what I mean, with the underage variety of
Yes.
victims.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, so I find it really interesting because so obviously One Direction was another huge band in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Their following online was like intense. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So to cut a long story short, I was friends with Rita Ora. I worked on the X Factor for one season, and there was a girl that was like doing the kind of social media for the X Factor, and she was a friend of a friend. So she was, when I was on there, she was doing some social media stuff about me. So all of a sudden I had all these like One Direction followers and stuff. Like all she would have to say would be like, hello. And you would get like 5,000 likes and retweets. Like that's what their fan base was like online. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
now when you kind of like relate it to this like whole troll farming situation that goes on in terms of like the Amber Heard and now the Blake Lively, it kind of makes sense that like Melissa Nathan was right there then. She was right in the thick of all of this. Like that is how PR has mutated into what it is now, which is not so much about public relations as like smear campaigning your ops. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a dark
so-
art now. It's like a maleficium or something.
right.
You know?
So
Yeah.
she moved over to the US. She was working for Rita Ora, and then she was working for this company called Hilzig Strategies. So they're like a really corporate PR strategy firm that have been working with politicians like Donald Trump. Did the Trump campaign, the first one. Actually, he
In
started
2016.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
actually started off as a Democrat, because I've been looking
Yeah.
into him as well. He started off as a Democrat, and then they all switched. Once they saw Trump was gonna get in, they all flip-flopped into getting behind, because that's where the money was. And so when you think about all these things like the Hillary Clinton email leaks and what's that other thing, QAnon, which again, I knew nothing about any of this stuff, but now it all ties in with this social media posting and seeding and getting the crowds behind you to make you start believing this stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I know it sounds like very odd, but
I know. But in 2016, when
Yeah.
he won, Donald Trump, and everyone was so like, oh, we didn't think that was going to happen. But then they did investigation with Cambridge Analytica.
right.
Remember that?
She
And it
was-
was like,
He was implicated with Cambridge Analytica when they came to do like an investigation. Her name actually comes up. She was questioned.
Melissa
So,
Nathan.
yeah. So she
wow.
was obviously, she knows all about that Facebook post seeding.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been put down to Russian bots, but then what I found through my own experience of trolling is people keep saying it's bots, and I'm like, it's not bots. This is real people.
Yeah.
This is real people. They have multiple accounts. They'll literally make an account to make one post and then not use it again. Like I'm sure bot activity is used as well, but the really nasty stuff, you see that as real people. Like they're just it's the way that they like motivate them, weaponize them into writing that stuff that is the problem that people overlook. But yeah, so she's been involved in all of that. Then Johnny Depp was there. Oh, by the way, let me not forget, Hilzig worked for Harvey Weinstein for 5 years. She was working for him right up until 2024, where she started her own company called Tag, which Scooter Braun, which is
Oh my God.
right. I'm telling you, this is like law.
It's
So
honestly, it's all like the darkest souls in entertainment
Right,
coming
and
together.
you start realizing why, because do you sometimes feel like, why is it always the same people involved in this stuff? It's like, because you can see behind the scenes how it's all connected.
Yeah, it must be. Did you know Melissa Nathan was working on this and look how good this worked out?
Right.
And then if Justin Baldoni, for example, is like, look, I'm going to need help because I already see something brewing, then they call in the big guns.
That's it. And I mean, I think it's even worse than that because, yeah, like I was going to say, so Scooter Braun, who already has beef with Taylor Swift because he bought her masters, and also that whole thing that happened with Taylor Swift and Kanye West, recorded the phone call and everything.
There was,
Do you remember?
just in case Nathan doesn't know, they were back on good terms.
Okay.
Kanye called and was like, I'm going to use you in my music video. You know, I'm going to mention you. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then when he puts it out, he says, I made that bitch famous. And she's like, he's like, sorry, Taylor's like, I never knew he was going to call me a bitch.
Yeah.
And she was pissed about it. But then like a year later, Kim had recorded the conversation and made it look like Taylor knew full well what was going to happen. And then like another year later, we found out she edited that.
Oh, all right.
So like I think at the end of the day, we never really knew which side to take. Did you take a side, Sophie?
I'm always on the woman's side normally, and I'll be honest with you, I've never been a fan of Kim.
Yeah.
She just has annoyed me since day one, and it's funny because Scooter Braun was Kanye West's manager when that was going down, right?
Right.
So,
Okay.
do you know what I mean? So that's the big thing to remember. So then he buys her masters because she changed record label or whatever. But yeah, so Scooter Braun's there in the background. So then he has this company, Hype, that he's like the CEO of. It's based in Asia and like K-pop and stuff. But yeah, so
Interesting.
they invested in Melissa Nathan starting her own company called Tag PR, which was last summer. So that was when the whole It Ends With Us stuff was starting to brew.
Yeah.
Now the question is, because Scooter Braun and Justin Baldoni knew each other, Justin's like such a fanboy because I'll be honest with you, in the UK, no one has ever heard of Justin Baldoni.
I mean, we hadn't really either, you know? You had to be like a fan of the show Jane the Virgin, I think.
Right.
And like, I wasn't going to watch that. Like, that wasn't geared towards me, I don't think.
I don't think anybody was a fan of that show.
Well, when I get my nails done, my nail lady would be like, so what do you think? Like, which side do you take? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go against the woman. Same. And she was like, well, I always watched Jane the Virgin. And I could tell, like, he's a great guy. And I'm like, okay.
Sure.
That was the thing. Like, when it all started becoming this big story, I couldn't understand why he was so popular. And then, because I personally do not find him attractive at all, but then I realized, oh, a lot of people think he's really attractive and like he's buff and he's got his chest out. And I guess, like, you know, I guess that's what the girls go for, or whoever they are, the people, his fans, you know. So yeah, I think his fan base is very like much biased by what he looks like, and they're just assuming that because he looks like that, he must be a good person.
Yeah.
Blake Lively looks so bad, you know, at that point when they had all those clips of her. It was like,
Yeah, she made some terrible choices in terms of like her PR around the movie, but that doesn't mean that she's not, you know, a victim of him. I have a question for you, Sophie. Just
go for it.
My understanding about Justin Baldoni is that he was like, I guess prior to this, known for being like very pro male feminist kind of person. And so how does he say anything to justify his friendship with Scooter Braun, who is...
I call him a serial women harasser.
Serial women harasser. Okay. I think, but he's a bad dude.
Look.
Yeah.
It's, what is the phrase? Birds together, flock together. I mean, birds of a feather flock together. No, Justin, so I knew nothing about him. I don't know, like you guys, I was watching stuff last summer where it was all coming up about Blake Lively's hairline and Blake Lively did this and Blake Lively did that. And I'm like, yeah, I had heard of Blake Lively. Do you know what I mean? But I was really a fan of Gossip Girl or whatever. Like, I just vaguely knew of her. And that was the only person I had heard of. And there was a channel that I used to watch in the UK that was a woman commentary channel, because I try and support other women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was talking about it, and I was just like, oh, God, what is all this? So that was when I first got subjected to the Shisty Flaw interview and all of that.
Yes.
But yeah. So when it come to, like, by the time the complaint and the lawsuit dropped around Christmas time, it all made sense to me. So I was like, yes, I saw her being smeared. And I was like, I didn't really get it, but I wasn't really paying too much attention because I wasn't really interested in her or the movie. And do you know what I mean? It was just something that was going on that I was aware of, but I could definitely identify that there had been a smear campaign going on because it was all negative and it was all, you know, really superficial stuff. I mean, okay, yeah, the stuff about the wedding plantation isn't good, but with that being said, there is so much of that stuff going on in the fashion world and the celebrity world and the movie industry, where like that's high end people do that stuff every day. Like I bet people go to plantations without even realizing, or do you know what I mean? It's especially when it happened, that time period, we were in a very different space than we are now. People were not calling that stuff out at all.
Right,
You know,
which is unfortunate, but it's probably like, yeah, there were probably a bunch of people doing the same thing.
Well, as I pointed out in one of my videos, like Johnny Depp just recently was paid to go to the UAE, you know, to promote their film festival, and like everyone knows that is a modern day slave plantation. But yet no one's got anything to say about it, you know?
I'm surprised that people don't say more about, like, celebrities' connections with Dubai, which was created by slave labor.
Exactly. It was the Dubai Film Festival. And it's like, I made that point in one of my videos because I have made a hell of a lot of videos about him for me, considering I can't stand the guy. But yeah, it's the double standards we have, because it's like, yeah, you can hold her accountable for getting married on a plantation, but then are you going to hold everyone? And then it turns out Justin threw cotton at his wedding and then fell out with a black friend who criticized him for it. So it's like, do you know what I mean? Every single argument that has been said about what she has done so bad, he's done a million times worse. And she even apologized. Her and her husband, they apologized for it. They tried to make amends. Like, from what I can see, they tried to at least be accountable, because everyone loves that word. But yeah, so when I started looking into Justin and this whole persona that he'd been putting out, I was just a bit like freaked out by it, because I was just like, people really bought into this stuff. Like, I can never make sense of anything he's saying. Do you know what I mean? He just says a lot of nothing.
I've had to take a real honest look at the ways that I've unconsciously been hurting the women in my life. And it's ugly. My wife told me that I had been acting in a certain way that hurt her and not correcting it. Basically, sometimes when she would go to speak, at home or in public, I would just cut her off mid-sentence and finish her thought for her. It's awful. The worst part was that I was completely unaware when I was doing it. It was unconscious. So here I am doing my part, trying to be a feminist, amplifying the voices of women around the world, and yet at home, I am using my louder voice to silence the woman I love the most. So I had to ask myself a tough question. Am I man enough to just shut the hell up and listen?
I don't think he's smart.
Nothing in terms of like yoga babble or wellness.
No, it's like pretending to be advocate for women's rights.
Okay,
but what
all right.
he's actually saying doesn't make any sense. He's like, we need to listen. Like, we need to listen to, and it's more about him as well. It's always like, I've been living in this toxic world of masculinity, and it's always about how it's harder for a man. That would be the issue to solve equality kind of things. Like it just doesn't, his arguments just don't make sense. But when you read the comments under, he's got a podcast, he's got his proposal video.
Baby, I love you. I love you so freaking much. I love the shit out of you. I don't know how to do this. I'm sure you have an idea about what's going on right now because you have a crazy feminine intuition. So I'm trying to propose. And, you know, my mind being the way it is, I could think of a million different ways that I want to do it. But all I know is that I want it to be special, and I want it to be romantic, and I want it to be something that you never forget.
That was the first thing that came it came up on my recommended, and I watched it in horror. I was like, is this for real? And how can you say this as a feminist? Like, he's dressing up, he's doing like cosplaying in a boy band, and all his like friends are doing these like sexy boy band moves as part of your proposal video.
Yeah, it lasted like 30 minutes and was all about him. It was not about her at all.
Exactly. Everything is all about him and the struggle of men and how it's like, I don't know, you'd need to watch some of it to be able to like hear what I'm saying. But like, I've really tried. I've really watched a lot of the content. But then one thing they did, which I think was like kind of when they were starting the Man Enough thing, they did a round table episode where Scooter Braun was invited on.
My God, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I featured
to talk about his struggles with toxic masculinity.
Right, I featured a clip of it in my last video that I made where he's saying like, yeah, I was brought up by a strong woman and I had all women in my house. And I'm like, you know, this is what they think women want to hear. And that's what I was going to say. Yeah, when you look at the comments on these videos, which you and I talking about it are like, oh my God, are they serious? The comments are eating it up.
That's crazy.
Justin, you're such a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
And then I noticed, and I don't know if these are real or fake comments.
Okay.
But there's a lot of comments from people like that are saying they're gay. And they're like, oh, I'm gay. And now that you said that, I feel so much more comfortable to be myself. And it's just like,
oh my God. You know, it's kind of like what politicians do when they're confronted with some sort of like a gender issue. Especially the Republicans, they're like, I have a wife and I have a daughter, so therefore I support whatever. And it's just like, yeah, that doesn't make it special. You know, it's like, yeah, I have human beings in my life.
Old. Yeah, no, it's becoming so old now to bring your wife in.
Oh.
Was it becoming so old, that thing of like, well, I have a wife, so I can't be gay or I can't be...
Yeah.
I love my wife. And that's the thing Justin always says as well. Like, he's told on himself so much. He's like, well, you know, I have women sliding into my DMs and telling me how wonderful, how perfect I am. He actually said those words in the Me Too episode. But I love my wife. And it's like, okay, but how many men that cheat say that?
I mean, when I get direct messages on Instagram from women that tell me I'm perfect and they look the way they do, I just try to delete because it's conscious, because I know where that goes. And I know that I'm also weak. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect.
Yeah.
I adore my wife.
Far.
Far.
Super far from
So far.
Can't even see the other side.
I
Yeah.
love you, but I still cheated on you. Like, that is not a disclaimer. Like, that does not make you innocent.
It's like you want congratulations for not fucking around. You know, it's like, no, you don't get that.
Also, there was this feeling of him being like, I am being harassed. Like, he was like, can you believe it? I am not a piece of meat. And it's like,
Boy. Yes, that was another one of his. It's so hard being a man because people only like me because I get my chest out.
exactly.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, first of all,
You know what I want to say to him?
maybe you're
Stop
not
dressing like a whore.
Yeah. What were you wearing?
Yeah,
what were you
exactly.
wearing, Justin?
Yeah.
He always has a low cut shirt on or something. It's like, you know, you're not really what you say, what he says and what he does do not align.
Yeah, he's asking for it if you ask me.
But so, you know, used homeless people. He's used homeless people. He's used disabled people.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally gone into those people's worlds and I want to say exploited them.
Yeah, because he wrote 6 Feet Apart or whatever,
Okay.
right? Or he produced that movie based on someone else's story. It was something like that.
Travis.
Okay.
There was a guy called Travis who featured in he was already obsessed with dead people and dying people. Like, he thinks he can talk to dead people, which is already really creepy. And basically, a lot of these ideas as well, they come from his religion, which is a whole nother topic. He's in this religion called Baha'i, and they believe in, like, I don't know, something like is being alive the same as being dead, and that there's no racism and that there's no sexism and that we should all just get over it and move on. And I'm like, it just feels like a lot of gaslighting, and it, do you know what I mean? Because it's like it's something.
Well, it's just a different way of ignoring the historical and institutional factors that have contributed to, you know, racism. And it's just like, well, now we can all forget it. And it's like, no, I bet like black people can't forget it. I bet people of color can't forget it. And like we, you know, white people. Anyway, I'm not going to go off about racism. I'm going to let you continue to speak.
No, I know.
Sorry.
But they did know. But they made a video behind. So behind have a lot of websites putting out propaganda. And that's one of their bits of content is a black woman saying that she sat in church next to members of the Ku Klux Klan. They were lovely people.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm not joking.
They were nice to me.
And they're putting this out as serious content. Of like, so that's why we don't need racism anymore, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I have a quick question for you. Just going back to Blake Lively and the backlash against her.
I haven't even got to how Melissa Nathan related to Jed Wallace and blah blah blah.
Well, okay,
but,
but
go for that.
Let's come back to that.
We'll come back
to it. Oh, you
Nathan will forget.
Blake's way of marketing a film about domestic abuse, there was a lot of backlash against that. Do you think that was seeded? Totally? Was
100%.
it justified? Okay, all right.
Okay, so what we know is that there was a marketing plan that was put together by. So Justin had Wayfarer Studios as a production company, and they had a deal with Sony for this movie, but everything was being done by Wayfarer. Sony's like the distributing partner.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so they weren't involved in the production. So when Blake Lively complained to them, they were like,
right.
We're just
But
distributing.
you know, when it comes to the distribution of the movie, they've got very strong ideas about how it's going to be marketed. Do you know what I mean? So they had a marketing plan, and this is listed in her complaint. But the problem is, a lot of the stuff she listed in her complaint, which was made back in December last year, has been overshadowed by all the blah 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 of the Justin Baldoni fan club.
Yeah.
So it said very, very straightforwardly in the marketing that they wanted to, it's a film about domestic violence, but we don't want to talk too much about that. Do you know what I mean? We want to be like, emphasize the fact that she owns a flower shop and it's about moving on from domestic violence and rebuilding your life. And it's kind of a bit similar to how they're covering up the racism. It's like, well, she's been through domestic violence, but she can still have a great life now. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that all very much was in the marketing plan. She very much went along with it. And so what we know now is this guy, Jed Wallace, who was brought on to do the underhand social combat plan. So he's the one that creates the subreddit pages, allegedly. I'm not saying there wasn't a Blake Lively snark Reddit page made on the 9th of August 2024, the day he started his contract. But there is.
I just want to reiterate, you're saying he didn't start a Reddit board on the 9th shortly before this.
No, according to him, he was just monitoring.
Okay, all right.
But it's just a bit of a coincidence that a Blake Lively snark subreddit page. I didn't even know what a subreddit was until I started looking into this. But that page was started, on that date by an account, the moderator, who also started their account that day. Or actually the day after.
I'm surprised you can even do that on Reddit. Like, be a mod when you, like, literally have a fresh account.
That's the thing. You would think
exactly,
that you
because
couldn't.
I wouldn't have, if I opened an account, like if I had an account on Reddit, I would not know how to be a mod on a subreddit. Like,
no,
yeah,
we have a subreddit, and we
don't know
just
how
have
to
our
mod.
fans there, and we don't know what to do.
We have like maybe we should have rules.
Yeah.
Right, and that's another thing. Yeah, they say in their bio or their intro or whatever it is you put that it's about because they felt like they were being censored.
Okay.
And I'm like, you felt like you were being censored? Like, there was so much
Blake hate.
Negative stuff being said about her at that time, that who's censoring you? Because it just sounds a little bit like, no, I'm not quite believing it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pieces to put together in this puzzle. So the first post was the interview with Shusty Floor, where they said Blake Lively was bullying her because she asked a really inane, stupid question, and she was a useless journalist that was desperate to have a snark YouTube channel. But yeah, so what we know is that Jed Wallace, on the 5th of August, was sent the list of back to work conditions that the whole studio and Blake Lively had put together, because she was so like, basically Melissa Nathan had been secretly talking to Jed Wallace about it and sent him that document before he was even working on it. And so they were putting a plan together of how they were going to like combat the narrative, anything that was going to be said bad about Justin.
Yes.
They were going to like combat it. I mean, they say it was organic, but we know that he was creating, or his team. Yeah. Because the thing is about Jed Wallace is he's denying all of this. He uses the word "my team" are on it in an email, which these emails keep coming out every day, every week. We see more and more. Their Signal chats are coming out. You know, because he thought he was really smart using Signal with the disappearing messages, but some of the people on the team were not that smart. So the messages have been deleted. But he's giving away more and more evidence to show that he was, not only was he involved in this from before it started, but he works with her other clients, like Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And
with the Pauls.
Yep.
Jesus, this goes
He's
deep.
a business partner. He's a business partner with Jake Paul.
It is like all the worst people.
It really, like all the worst people on the internet. Oh my God.
And
Wow.
I know, like, the whole thing with, like, I don't really keep too much up on the polls. I mean, it's hard not to. If you follow any kind of commentary, they come into everything.
Oh my
But
God.
I know last year when he did that collaboration with Mr. Beast, those meals.
Oh, the
Yes.
Lunchly?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were, and there was all. So I was really into that whole Mr. Beast thing. So I do not like him at all.
No.
And by the way, Hilzig, who Melissa Nathan used to work for, is Mr. Beast's PR company.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, it's crazy. But I remember last summer when that was all going off with Mr. Beast and like they were saying there was mold in those Lunchlies.
Right. I was going to say, Nathan, did you ever buy them? Because you seem to be a fan.
Yes, and I got botulism, but I still stand behind them. They were delicious, mold or not.
Well, if you listen to... There's actually a YouTube video of Hilzig production. They're doing an on-stage lecture and they're talking about how nutritious his meals are. Mm-hmm. And they're being deadly serious.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are the same people that helped get Donald Trump in. You know, now they're helping tell us that Mr. Beast's clearly not nutritious meals are nutritious. But yeah, so they did a smear campaign on a guy that worked in a supermarket because he took some of their products off the shelf.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They tracked him down. I just remember seeing this video last summer. They doxed him. So you can imagine what their audience is like.
Oh, the Pauls?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I bet they're vicious.
Logan Paul did a whole video saying, this guy took my products off his shelves of his store and said that was an FDA complaint. There isn't an FDA complaint. He's made a mistake.
Not only is there a lawsuit against Logan Paul's company Prime for there being PFOs, which are forever chemicals, in the Prime hydration drink.
All right, let's talk about this. First off, anyone can sue anyone at any time. That does not make the lawsuit true, and in this case, it is not. There's claims that PFOS or forever chemicals come from plastic. So in this case, they're not talking about the actual drink, the liquid Prime. They're talking about the bottle that Prime is manufactured in. This ain't a rinky-dink operation. We use the top bottle manufacturers in the United States. All of your favorite beverage brands, Coke, Pepsi, Tropicana, Dr. Pepper, they use these companies. If the product is served in plastic, they make a bottle for them. Accordingly, we follow Title 21 for the Code of Regulations for PET and all other types of bottles. The products are manufactured by our company in a manner compliant with all pertinent current good manufacturing practices by the United States Food and Drug Administration. All of our suppliers use GMP facilities. But let's say they're talking about the drink itself. Here's where their argument really falls apart. Pay attention.
But according to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff...
Whoa! Hold it. You saw Goodman or Walter White, brother, because this little study that was conducted by a lawyer is absolute bullshit. They're claiming that Prime has 0.06 ppt, parts per trillion. But that's interesting because the EPA says that anything under 1.1 ppt cannot be deemed as reasonably accurate, meaning they don't have the right tools or resources to even prove what they're claiming. Are you following this? It means the detection limit is 66 times more than what they're claiming we have in our drink. And that's just the detection limit. Your own state will not even take action unless it's over 40 parts per trillion. So we don't even think this information is factual, but for the sake of this conversation, let's continue.
In one Prime hydration drink, they found 3 times the amount of PFOs that you should consume in drinking water in your life.
We have a very big, multi-million-dollar filter that filters the water from the state. Water you drink at home, water provided by the state before we make it into Prime. If this claim about PFOs and PFAs is true, what is that saying about your state water? Then, according to their website, the Environmental Protection Agency's recommendation is using one of 3 tactics to remove as many PFOS and PFAS as possible. Activated carbon, ion exchange treatment, and reverse osmosis. Well, we do 2 out of the 3 of those to clean the state's water before it even becomes Prime. We don't think these numbers are factual, and we're not the only one who caught this.
The level that was reportedly found was below the limit of detection, and if that even was the level, it is still 66 times lower than the recently established federal maximum contaminant level of 4 parts per trillion for PFOS.
For customer safety, we retain samples of every single batch of Prime that has ever come off the production line. So if/when this plaintiff wants to come forward with a production number, we will retain samples from that batch and conduct our own independent study. We're putting out better for you products. Meanwhile, our competitors are on the cusp of getting banned in the United States.
And then the guy was like, yeah, it was a precaution. Like, there hasn't been an FDA complaint about your product, but like we had a warning about something. So I just took everything off just as a precaution to our customers. And so, yeah, they doxed this guy's supermarket. I tell you, when it comes to this stuff, I'm like the encyclopedia of random bits of things that happen on the internet. But when it like turns out to be all interlinked, my little brain is like, yeah, I saw that smear campaign and they did that guy in the supermarket. And now to know that Jed Wallace worked for them, do you know what I mean? It's like, this is how they do stuff. And it's been happening with victims of assault and violence for years. We know it has. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It goes back to Weinstein. I was even looking up the other day because I was like, I seem to remember seeing something about this in a Weinstein documentary. And yeah, they hired a company called Black Cube that did this same kind of like undercover operations where they like pretend to be friends with people and pretend they're going to write journalist stories about them, or they're an undercover journalist, and actually they're like leaking the information back to the predator, in that case being Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they're using that information to make up fake stories in newspapers and stuff and getting favors from whatever journalist is in league with them, because, you know, like all they want is like exclusive information on these Hollywood people, so they have to stay in with them. So it's like it's just a horrible like feeding system that they're all you know.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking, why name it Black Cube, the most sinister name possible for this kind of thing? Like, you know, name it Happy Dayglow Company, so nobody knows what's going on.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Well, it's not a very original name, but I mean, we could get even deeper into the conspiracies because Scooter Braun has been promoting a lot of pro-Israel stuff, and that Black Cube organization is owned by the IDF. And the guy that was spying on Rose McGowan, who's actually, last week I spoke to someone who knows her, and he was saying at the time, she was like, these weirdos from Israel are like stalking me and harassing me. And at the time, which was like 2016, everyone was like, just thought she kind of lost it a little bit, but now it's like,
I remember that about Rose McGowan. She was like, she was very much painted as like, post Me Too, she's like going nuts, and therefore that's like a way of invalidating the entire movement.
Yeah. So what they've done is now they've moved this kind of behavior online into social media communities, and they'll just have like, not even the fan of the person, because this has gone way beyond just Baldoni. Like, we're talking about all the commentators and all the content creators that have got behind the story, who have got like mental audiences. Like, look at the people that they've been feeding this story to. Candace Owens, well, the guy that we're gonna, I'm sure, get onto, Andy Signal.
Is he from
Popcorn Planet?
Planet, yeah. So, as we were saying off mic, BJ, just like a little bit back to where BJ was, she's getting tied into this like right-wing QAnon stuff without seeming to know it. I don't know. But I knew who Liz Crokin was because we did a Pizzagate episode. Because there are still people, I mean, that's what QAnon is, basically, a continuation of Pizzagate. And she had been in this documentary that I had seen, and I thought she seemed sane. She seemed credible to me. I thought maybe there was something to what she was saying. That's why we did the episode, because I wanted to investigate Pizzagate. So, but then you start to realize, no, Liz Crokin used to work for like Star magazine. She used to write celebrity stuff.
Okay. So she didn't work for like a bit. I thought she worked for someone like the New York Times or something.
No, that's what she wants you to think.
She had a very brief, from what I remember, she had a very brief like association with a reputable mainstream outlet, but she was just doing puff pieces. She wasn't like doing hard-hitting investigative journalism the way she would want you to believe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this didn't totally break her brain. Like, I don't think she was ever writing New York Times level journalism. It's just that then she became obsessed with this and then got kicked out. Like they were like, well, we don't want you to write this in our magazine. And now she has like a Substack or something where all the crazies will pay to read her bullshit about that.
Yeah.
Or like then she made that movie Slave Princess, which is about Britney Spears, but it's QAnon.
Well, that's where BJ comes in. So the whole thing with BJ and Free Britney. So this Free Britney, you could do a whole episode on Free Britney, I tell you.
Yeah.
I think, especially if you did it on YouTube, I think that would definitely get you people interested because it just sort of like fell apart overnight.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, I know she's doesn't seem to be doing well on her own. Am I correct?
Britney,
yeah.
I don't think she's been doing well for a long time. I do not like to focus too much on, taking down women that haven't done anything to me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think
I was just wondering if that had something to do with the collapse of their concern.
To be honest with you, I think the Free Britney movement was propping her up for a long time.
Got it. Okay.
Became her fan base. What I'm saying is the Free Britney movement just like that disappeared. Like, do you know what I mean? They just couldn't. If you think about how intense it was and how active it was, and then the conservatorship ended, and then she had that book release that there was some conspiracies about, and then there was a couple of more posts about her Instagram and stuff, and then it just like fizzled out, and I haven't seen anyone talking about Free Britney for like well over a year. When you think about how big a thing it was. But I do have some conspiracies about it, considering I do not know anything about Britney Spears or the Free Britney. Well, this is all from my own research. So,
but
I think in the beginning it was a genuine activism movement. But I think the timing of it as well, being it was just COVID at the time of COVID. Yes, I think so many people got invested in it because of COVID and being at home and being online and going out like to the protests and stuff, because it was like a time when we still weren't even really allowed to do much.
Yeah, what were we going to focus on, right?
Exactly. So I think, that was 2021 was the time that I really started getting into, COVID got me into watching Real Housewives. And then when I started really watching YouTube, because I hated TV, I could not watch TV anymore. I was like, I cannot watch this propaganda every single day. So yeah, I started watching YouTube, and then, that was the same time that this whole Free Britney movement was really big and really active. But yeah, I do think that a lot of people in that movement that went on to become creators kind of used it to leverage themselves. BJ being one, Sloan being one. There's a few others. Jake Yonsei, I think he was part of it.
I think him too.
Andy Signal.
Okay, Popcorn Planet.
Yeah, because they just went for the fan base. I'm not being funny. Do you think Andy Signal could give two Fs about Britney Spears?
Here's the thing. Our friend Emily Rose kind of told us what Popcorn Planet is like, and she's like, was not into him, and so it never made me want to check out what he was doing, really.
Oh.
But I get the idea that he's skeezy.
I think, look, you can be like, we're talking here about how Justin Baldoni is, okay, some people might define it as being predatory. I just think he's creepy, and, he's gaslighting people to think that sexism shouldn't exist. Feminism is about breaking down gender roles, and it's just all nonsense. Like we know why we have feminism, because women are kept down, because women are silenced, women are bullied and harassed when they speak up about anything. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think the fact that he's been allowed to get away with this, having this platform for so long without any pushback, is just astonishing, to be quite honest with you.
But Sophie, he's so handsome.
If you like that sort of thing, I look at him and I'm just completely turned off.
I do not find him particularly appealing either.
Even in the movie, he plays a guy that's gross. Like, the movie seems very accurate to life, you know?
He wanted to play an abuser. And the thing is, like, going back to the whole thing about the marketing and the production of the film, like, obviously Sony wanted Blake Lively to be a part of it. They wanted her input. That's why they made her a producer. Do you know what I mean? And so she was meant to be like reining it in a bit, because he was, honestly, if you read some of the messages, they were trying to make it into they were trying to push the limits of it being a PG-13. He wanted
with the sex or with the
violence? Yeah, he put an extra sex scene in there. He wanted the scene where she's losing her virginity, and she's underage at the time, and it's like, in the book, from what I've heard, because I've not seen the movie, nor do I ever intend to.
Well, I saw the movie and I read the book.
Oh wow, okay, so you know a lot more. See, I've had to do all this on the back foot, but what I've read in the messages is that there's a lot of discussions about this sex scene, and like he wanted to show her having an O, and I'm like, who has an orgasm on their first sexual experience ever? Especially
that's so true.
Underage. Like, and then telling Blake Lively, like, well, like asking her if she climaxes at the same time as her husband and all this creepy stuff, which is like, I'm sorry, I don't want people asking me that when I'm at work. I just can't believe people are defending this stuff. They're like, she's trying to bully him out of his own film. Like, no, she was just being reasonable. Like, can you stop being a pervert?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it goes back to that. It goes back to like just basically trying to stop us having our normal rights. Just things that we keep thinking that we're getting somewhere, but then it's like, no, you're not.
Especially not with all these behind the scenes people.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. We've sort of moved around a little bit, but with the QAnon and the right wing thing, that is part of their agenda, is like kind of devaluing the Me Too movement, trying to say that women are lying, and
that's Candace Owens too.
All of them have that narrative. And then the worst thing about it is they actually give their platforms to actual rapists and predators. I mean, people that...
Which is so interesting, because QAnon started because of, like, the suspicions about the cabal of pedophiles in Hollywood. But it seems like as soon as a woman turns 18, she's fair game and a slut. You know? It's like, So I don't understand... I don't know why I'm looking for intellectual consistency in this community. Never mind.
Because all jokes aside, like, you know, I just think, like, when you watch content, you don't really, until you become aware of it, you don't really understand how it is influencing you and how it is trying to make you think a certain way, until you start uncovering the layers of, like, how deep this stuff goes. Because what I've been finding out recently is the QAnon, I'm not sure, like, a lot of these narratives are developed because of lobbying groups.
They
have been, that's where a lot of money is invested, and they've been making a concerted effort to get younger audiences engaged in conservative politics. And that's how they do it. They know what young people watch online, what storylines they're interested in. So conspiracy theories is a way they've been doing it. And that's basically where Candace Owens has made her empire, because she was sponsored by these she was sponsored by an American lobbying group, and her husband was running an English one. I was always wondering, like, why is there so much right-wing, like, obviously right-wing content on my timeline all the time? Because I would never want to engage with it. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, sometimes you'll be watching a video and you don't even realize until they'll say something, and then you're like, oh, I'm not watching any more of this shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you just don't understand how it's so many people are like sucking you into it, and unless you're like aware of it, you can just get drawn in. And I think that's what happened with BJ. You know, she already had this big following from being in Free Britney, and there was people like me all over the other side of the UK, knew nothing about it, and she was saying she was making all the right sounds. She was saying she supported victims. She was saying she cared about corruption. She was saying, you know, she was looking into, and this is what really annoys me about her, is she used that Amanda Rabb story to kind of make the Bam Margera, to open up the Bam Margera thing, because I would never have been someone that could care less about Bam Margera. I just thought he was a bit douchey. I didn't really know who he was. But the story was really interesting, you know, about the whole thing with the rehab centers and whatever. But when she brought Amanda Rabb into it, like, that was to me so interesting, because that's a black woman, do you know what I mean, who died in a rehab center. Because you guys know the story, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was when I really started to get interested in that story, as because she made out like she wanted justice for Amanda Rabb, you know, and you start following these people because you really think that they want justice. And in your heart, you're thinking, yeah, she deserves justice. But they're just saying that stuff. They don't really believe it. And following a YouTube channel, someone is not going to get justice. Like, I'm not getting suckered into that anymore, but I know a lot of people do, especially with true crime narratives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people talking a big game, but they don't actually do anything for victims or to prevent future victimhood. They really don't.
That's what I'm saying about Free Britney. So
yeah,
I think Liz Crokin jumped on it for the same reason as everyone else. She wanted her fame game, you know, because she had some clout, she had some cred, and BJ was desperate, from what I can see, going back, when I look back over it. She was desperate to be on that TV show and desperate to be, like, part of the, seen as a leader of the movement. And she wasn't. I can't remember what the word is, like, cuckooed it. She was a cuckoo, a culture vulture. Do you know what I mean? Like,
for Bam Margera or for Britney Spears?
For Free Britney, because Free Britney was before Bam Margera. So
yeah.
She jumped on that movement, got a lot of support because she knew how to speak and she knew how to read the
law stuff. Yeah, I was a fan of her, and I was like, "Yeah, you go, girl."
Yeah, same.
You know?
Same. But now, when we start putting all the history together and realizing that Liz Crokin didn't give a shit, she was just like, "Oh yeah, I can become part of the Free Britney movement." So I think what happened at that point in the movement, there was a lot of, like, it started to break up. Like, it do you know what I mean? It caused a lot of conflict because the original people were like, this is not what we're about. You know, we're not about this publicity hungry, someone who doesn't even know the story, you know, and certain people were chosen not to be in the documentary. And then I think there was like a Netflix one. And so, that caused a lot of disputes within the whole organization. And then, so that was at the time when, like, BJ decided she was going to carry on doing her channel. And then she moved into the Bam Margera story and kind of felt like she would get the same support from the Free Britney people as she would for Bam Margera, because she made it about the same subject matter, which is someone going into a conservatorship. And so for me, I was like, the Amanda Rabb story was really interesting because Amanda Rabb she wasn't in a conservatorship, but Lima petitioned to become her conservator. And I, like, to be honest with you, we don't really have this stuff in the UK. Like,
really?
Yeah, like, we don't really have conservatorships.
Well, they're usually for elderly people, just
Right.
so that
Yeah.
if you're not in their will or their power of attorney,
Yeah.
you can go try to become that.
Right.
And then I think we all learned more about it because of Britney, you know?
Right. It is a bit more protected here. Like, you can have
Really?
an advocate to be your spokesperson, but you have to be seriously incapacitated, and they'll normally have like a family member who they'll make.
Right.
power of
No,
attorney.
there's some corruption here where it makes a lot of people can make a lot of money with this.
I see that. I do see that as a real problem. But I think the thing that's happening there as well is like, because those people have addictions.
Yeah.
That is the one bit of the story that gets left out. No one would have said in whatever time it was when Britney was,
Like in 2007 when she first,
no one would have said she's using too many drugs. Do you know what I mean? It's like, even now you can't even say it. But to me, it's clear the woman's got a problem with it. Like, absolutely, 100%. You know, and same with Wendy Williams, same with Margera. Like, they're addicts, you know, and it's like, the problem is with addiction is when these people have made a lot of money for people, they want to carry on making the money out of them. So they'll prop them up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Cover it up to make it, she's got dementia, she's got this, she's exhausted. And it's like, do you know what I mean? How many times in the 2000s did you hear about celebrities saying they've been admitted to hospital for exhaustion? And you'd be thinking, exhaustion?
Exhaustion.
But they're not going to say, well, she's OD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm
But
like, I'm
when
fucking
you-
tired too. Can I go to the hospital for a little break?
It just never made any sense because they weren't allowed to say it. You know? But then when you look back on it with a fresh approach, you're like, basically, I think there isn't really many celebrities that don't have that problem going on.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad, but it's a very enabling environment because the people around them do not care. They do not care about that person. Probably the best way for that person to get healthy and move away from that would be to stop being a celebrity.
Right.
And
Which
then
is
they're
what
gonna-
I think we thought would happen when Britney got out of the conservatorship, but no one seems
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know too much about her, but I think she's doing all right.
Okay, good. I mean, I want her to do what she wants to do.
That's
you
why
know?
I feel like she is doing what she wants.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
the thing. I never really felt like, I don't know, there were all these conspiracies like someone else is doing her social media.
Oh my
I
God,
know.
right? Yeah. And it's like
You
she's
can
giving
literally
secret
see-
codes through her
No, I
TikToks or whatever, her
know.
Instagram posts.
And I'm like, no, you can literally see someone in the background filming her. Like, she is doing her own social media. Like, she's just not doing... She probably thinks that's great. Like,
I wonder if people are like surprised by, because like, I'll say about Britney, she's a little kooky. She's fun, you know, but she's different. And I feel like people have this impression of her when she was like a big star, that she was like this, you know, totally controlled personality, and they maybe got an impression of her that was not correct, and now she's just like, I'm gonna lean into like being my weird ass self.
I think you're spot on there.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's another huge issue that I see with all of these things is like, I've been around celebrities a lot. You know, I've been friends with them, like never like close friends with them, because it's always like when you have professional relationships, you never want to like
Cross the boundaries.
Yeah.
You do know what I mean? You never want to get like too involved because it's like you've got to maintain that professional barrier. But you know, like when I say friends, like go to their house, you see them at events. You know what I mean? They've been to my events, so supported me with different projects and stuff. I know what people are like in real life compared to the image that is projected of them, and how many people are around them constantly doing all the work, doing all the social media posts, saying, well, we're going to be doing this next week. Like, they're the people that create the persona, the image that you see in the magazines and on TV and whatever, wherever else you see them. Obviously, with social media, what happened was a lot of artists started to take control of their own image, and that's where it all started to fall apart because they let too much. Do you know what I mean? Like that control was let go by the people that have always. So, you know, when you see all these people doing their Instagram rants, and like, so that's going back to like the band Margera thing, because like that's what he was doing, and that was one of the things that BJ was like, they've taken his phone away, and da, 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 da. And it's like, well, the thing is, if you go into rehab, they have to take your phone away because it's part of the addiction. Like, I'm not being funny as well. Like, I think most people in this day and age, and I think this, I noticed this on one of your podcasts, that most people in this day and age in the modern world have experience of someone that has substance problems.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so part of it. Like you guys, you were having a conversation and you knew about all these different pills and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Like our pharmaceuticals are a little bit more like, we're not so into the whole pharmaceutical thing. It's more the actual, but like getting weed and coke in this country is so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So easy. Like anyone can get that. Do you know what I mean? It's very accessible.
In the UK or in the US?
Yeah. No, in the UK. I've not tried in the US.
I wouldn't think so, but I don't know.
I have 4 friends I could call up right now who could get me some.
Yeah, but these people are advertising on social media.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not even like hidden anymore. It used to be like a lot more secretive. It's so out in the open. Like Snapchat. You know, a lot of people sell it on Snapchat. But yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, so I can't even remember where I was going with my...
Oh, just like celebrities and their addiction. But what I was thinking was, if we go back to Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, there was new stuff that came out this week.
Right.
Which is that we saw, I believe, in a court filing, like some text messages that prove that Justin Baldoni was orchestrating, you know, like sending things for different content creators to post that would smear Blake Lively.
Yeah. I mean, I've thought that all along.
But we saw evidence.
From when they were like, I think we need to activate the social combat plan.
Right. And it was like they sent stuff to Perez Hilton.
Yeah, no, this week we've had indefutable proof, but the Baldoni fans will probably still come up with something to blame it on Blake Lively. But yeah, I mean, Brian Friedman, we've not even mentioned Brian Friedman. He's a big part of it. So it's not just the PRs that are covering up the predatory and assaults that are going on against women and men, and children, but mainly women. But yeah, I mean, there's lawyers. So we've just seen it obviously with the Diddy trial, exactly the same playbook that's gone on there. The lawyers feed the content creators the narrative, the defense narrative, and the content creators are so hungry.
Yeah. Well, defense lawyers have been blaming the victim since the beginning of time. Like, that's their job. It's not a good job, but that's their job.
But the content creators are eating it up and they're presenting it and they're like, you know, it's content it's just content for them. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it goes a lot deeper. It's like, yeah, it's just content, but it's like, it's literally going into your brain. It's literally trying to convert you or subconsciously feeding you a narrative.
Well, it's a narrative that, it's a narrative that has no resistance, because at least in a court of law, you have like 2 sides that can get out a competing story, and everybody's like listening to both of those sides. Once that gets fed to a content creator, it's a fucking free-for-all. And, you know, that one narrative just gets like you said, seeded just throughout. And once it's there, it seems, it's very hard to get rid of. It's like a virus.
Yeah, and then even you start questioning yourself. You're like, oh, well, okay, like, because the amount of times I've heard Blake Lively lied, and it's like, you're like, oh my God, am I sure? Am I definitely right about this?
my other question was, because we emailed yesterday and you had your shortening. What do you call it when you shorten a word into a acronym? Yeah, an acronym. Yeah. For Without a Crystal Ball, right?
Oh, yeah.
That content creator I follow her because I got to see what crazy shit she's spewing. But she's always, it's like, I don't know if someone is.
She's like BJ on steroids.
Yeah.
In fact, I've even had people make that comment on my videos saying I used to like BJ, but then she became like without crystal ball. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, her history goes way back. Like, I mean, there was one story I watched that was about this guy that was married to a MLM jewelry seller, Andrea McRae, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And so she was kind of like, it was very like low bar influencer content, but she sold this paparazzi jewelry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Basically they started doing kratom, and then her husband killed himself. And she was still, he hung himself, and she found him in the garage. And then people were already saying that he was having seizures, and she would not stop going live.
Mm-hmm.
She would post lives of her husband having seizures and her kids. And it was, I mean, you have to watch like a 3-hour deep dive to get the whole story. But I think it was going on around 21, 22. And I remember that crystal ball woman was involved in that. She got right involved in it. She was making conspiracies. She was contacting family members because his family didn't know anything about it. Like she was kind of acting like an abuser. And yeah, she was going live. He was in the hospital on ICU, like wasn't conscious, was on a breathing machine, and she was still doing live selling her jewelry.
Yeah.
Like it was unbelievable. But yeah, so there were a lot of people saying, that she was responsible for it, and there was like back and forth going on. But yeah, and child protection, someone called child protection on them. But I remember that crystal ball was involved in it. And so that was when I first heard of her. And then I think she like got involved with that Crisley guy. And
yeah.
I mean, she literally sticks her nose into any controversy that has nothing to do with her. And on top of that, because I found this forum the other day where she had people have been posting experiences with her from 2021, and she had been using her son's autism to like raise money and stuff. And do you know what I mean? She's just a typical grifter. Like, and it's funny because I think people are really influenced by how much money someone has. Like Candace Owens has a very sophisticated setup. Mm-hmm. She looks very groomed. She's well dressed. She's well put together. She has like a proper studio and everything. Whereas I think Without a Crystal Ball still does it in her living room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I actually would tend to trust someone that's in their actual environment. And anyone with a podcast studio, I'm a bit like,
yeah,
I'm side-eyeing you because I know you're paying back an investment. But yeah, I think people are really more harsh on Without a Crystal Ball because she doesn't have the same kind of money behind her that a lot of these other channels that we've mentioned here. But they're all doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. They're engaging the same audience. They are, and the amount of time they spend going live as well. Like, I don't think that's healthy.
No.
I don't think being online, talking to your audience that much is good for either you or your audience.
Well, that's not what I want to do when I come home from work is spend 4 hours on live eating crap and talking shit. And that's all they do. I'm like, that can't be healthy for your body. It can't be healthy for your mind. It can't be healthy for your life. It's a terrible thing.
And the content that they're talking about is so toxic as well,
Yeah.
on top of it all.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, all of this content that we're talking about, it's all part of the same thing. You've got, like, Jed Wallace is making so much money out
He
of this.
seems to be the person, like, because no one knew who he was until someone found, like, one picture, you know?
Right. So if you wanted me to tell you the connection between him and BJ Investigates, because I don't really watch her channel, so I don't know if she's really sussed onto it or not. But okay, knowing everything that we know and that we've been talking about, knowing that he uses untraceable accounts to seed narratives like Blake Lively wasn't talking about domestic violence. By the way, she was talking about domestic violence when she did her interviews, because I found an example of it as soon as I looked on TikTok. But the narrative, like, you asked the question, do you think that was fair or not? And I'm like, no, I don't think it was fair, because I know that that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to inflate any comments that said she's not taking domestic violence seriously. Justin is. But all they were really doing was just amplifying that message for anyone that is like this kind of troll farm audience that these channels that we're talking about attract and like stuck in, who become like keyboard warriors typing all of this shit. Like, I don't know, they're just like projecting their hatred onto people they don't even know. Like I was saying earlier, like, you don't really know the celebrity. Like, I'm not saying all celebrities are nice, but some of them are just, we're all people at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were born with a beautiful face and body, like, are you not allowed to make the most out of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
because,
you know, it's been hard for me.
yeah,
You know, the objectification is really, it's like, I'm a person inside, okay? I have thoughts and feelings. I'm not just a body and a face.
Okay, Justin.
It's hard to be a man, especially a beautiful man like me. Just want you to know that. Yeah.
Thank you for educating us.
Oh, you know what? I am deeply frightened now, so thank you, Sophie. And I'm going to think about what we do in a different way because of what you've said. Like, just giving us insight into, like, how PR and trolls just sort of, like, are now moving this industry in a way that has never, in a much more, like, effective, dark, underhanded way than has ever been. So, yeah, this is deeply frightening. Thank you.
it is wild, but then at the same time, that's why I think it's so important that, like, genuine people like us, you know, are actually starting to try and build a community. Like, that's what I've been trying to do. I'm like, my channel I've now been given the option to be monetized.
Yay!
And I'm like, honestly, I'm scared to go down that road because I just feel like whatever I'm trying to
turn
build,
into a crazy monster.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's a lot of people who monetize well. Or unless you want to become a crazy monster, go for it.
I'm not going to lie. I do want to know what it's like to experience getting a super chat.
Yeah. So you're going to start going live?
I have gone live.
Okay.
I love going live, but at the moment, like, I just don't know what to talk about. I'm just a bit like, because with the Blake Lively thing, it's like I have so much information about it. But then it's like, you know, with YouTube, most people are just dipping in and out. Like I just said, like, it's very unhealthy for you to be like constantly watching stuff every minute of the day. You have to sort of realize, well, who's going to be watching? Like, I do want to tell this stuff, and I want more people to understand, like, what's going on, because it can drive you a bit crazy. You know, you can be sitting there thinking, I think I'm going a bit crazy. But then I'm like, there's so few people that really understand what this Blake Lively thing is really about. And it's so kind of irrelevant to their lives, where it shouldn't be, because like you just said, it affects all of us, because these people are not just acting on behalf of celebrities and influencers. Like, they're working with politicians, they work for corporations, you know, they work with investors. Every it does affect every part of our life. Like any little bad thing that's happened with a company, they'll employ these techniques to cover it up so you don't get to hear. And that's how the fuel industry and the plastics industry got so big, because they just squashed any negative. I mean, if you want to start talking about activism back in the day, like I've watched so much old documentaries about how activists in America, it's so sad, were targeted back in the day that was speaking out against environmental issues, and, you know, to the point where they were like having their houses firebombed. It's not just about sexual assault and abuse. It's like just anyone that's got sense speaking out against what's been happening for the last however many years. This is the tactics that they employ. Underhand, make you feel stupid, shut you up, make you feel like, oh, I can't speak out because I'll lose my job. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's just we're just, these people were expressing like whatever they were saying has actually happened. They were expressing common sense. They were like, if you carry on using these chemicals, all the animals are going to die. The land's going to go to shit. People aren't going to be able to get their produce growing. And that's exactly what's happened. People are going to get cancer. This is exactly what's happened. You know, and they were shut down. So it makes me feel more than ever like we cannot shut up now.
That's true.
Like, do you know what I mean?
You're like an Aaron Brockovich of the internet.
I don't know. Some days I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. Like, honestly, I did get into doing lives, and then it's fun. But then it's quite exhausting as well. Like, I always feel a bit drained after I've done a live. Like, so these people that do 4-5 hour stretches and then come on the next day.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah. Do you get like into a lot of arguments when you're on live with people like you're trying to convince? Oh, okay.
No, not at all. I'm so unconfrontational. And that's another thing that I want to say on a positive note is like, so I started my channel. My first video was about BJ. Yeah, I got a couple of negative comments, a couple of people coming along going, you were just jealous.
Yeah.
You should look up to her. I'm like, first of all, you don't even know me. Like, you do not even know how great my life is. Like, why would I be jealous of her? And that's
nobody should look up to BJ.
It's just this idea that you've got to look up to a YouTuber because they've got loads of subscribers. It's just ridiculous. It's like not everyone wants that out of life. Like, I'd much rather have a smaller group of people like that I could actually have intelligent communication with than just going after stories, you know. And like
for her, like when she gets on and she's like, let me tell y'all what's going on now.
Yeah.
She's like pissed off. And she she got a new like lip look recently. And I was like, she looks like the Joker.
I haven't watched her for a while, but the thumbnails still come up on my recommendations. I'm like, how is this possible? Because I've literally not watched her videos for over a year, and I'm sure she's like paying for some boosting service or something. But I see her. I see. Well, because there's other creators that I've stopped watching more recently than her that have way more views and subscribers that just disappear overnight, but for some reason she will not leave me alone, so I have to look at what she's talking about and her face, and it's like the way she alters her face in those thumbnails. I'm like, you are not a model. Like, no offense, like I said, I don't want to take anyone down for their looks, but she alters herself in her thumbnails so much to look like someone that she is not in real life. And like you saw what she looked like in real life in the HBO documentary. Yeah. Like, I always thought she was a pretty girl. Like, but just be comfortable with who you are. Like, she's from the thumbnail, she's given this like false image that she looks like a model or a movie star. Like,
that's like a physical manifestation of how she has changed, you know, because she used to. Like, I just can't believe how far she's come. Yeah.
So it's good to hear that, because sometimes I sort of like cringe a bit about, oh my God, how could you have fallen for it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel a bit stupid, but then I'm like, nah,
she used to be normal.
Yeah, and like you said, that's when I stopped watching her, was because she was getting so angry, and I was just like, this is becoming really unpleasant to watch. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And that, on top of the fact that she was literally slandering me, saying that I was a paid troll or whatever.
Yeah. Can I ask a quick question about BJ? Because when we did our show about Lima, actually.
Lima.
I
wanted to pull you up about something, actually.
Okay, sure.
If you don't mind. In a very nice way. Yeah, because, no, I don't get into confrontations. I've had people troll my videos. I've made videos about all different stuff. Marilyn Manson, I was warned. Do not make content about Marilyn Manson. They will come to you in the comments. I deal with every comment in a very civilized way, and honestly, I've had no shit. I've been running a safe space on my channel it's been just over a year. I've been doing my channel, and I've not had any grief. So I do believe that, especially with the Blake Lively comments, they're so thick.
Yeah.
And they always say the same thing. They're like, you need to go and do your own research.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know.
Not one single creator that makes commentary about Blake Lively does any research. They probably don't even know who Melissa Nathan is. But no, I hope that you will inspire me to maybe go live more.
Yeah, but going live would be fun.
No.
You know what's funny is I talked to you in the comments on one of our videos. Then one of our listeners popped into my DMs and was like, have you seen this YouTube channel? This is the best. And it was your channel. And I was like,
way.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, actually, we've been talking to her.
No, when I was watching your video this morning, I wanted to know a little bit more about it. And
Which
so
one?
I look up, it was the one about Bam Margera.
The one that you sent us, it's called The Curious
Case of, right.
Yeah.
The Curious Truth of Bam Margera.
Yeah. That was another thing I was going to say to you as well, like that I've learned some tips on. I had so much issues with the copyright of the content. I kept uploading it. It kept saying this is copyright claimed. You can't show it. So I had to keep effing around. Like if you use like a TV show, you have to get rid of the music.
Right.
That's the way
it'll trigger it or something, right?
Yeah. It reads the background music, which is one thing I find really annoying about documentaries is the music, because it's like awful. But yeah, so I've even found a free app that you can get rid of background music.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But even doing that, it gave me such a hard time. I think it took me a week to upload that video before it let it through.
Oh, because it all happens beforehand. It doesn't post, and then they're like, take this part down.
Yeah, they're like, you've used copyrighted material, so you wouldn't be able to see it like it wouldn't let me show it, and it wouldn't be shown in America. And I'm like, well, that's kind of where I want it to be shown. So do you know what I mean? Yeah. But so yeah, there's all these little things that I've learned along the way that just make it a bit easier for you. But I have actually been copyright struck as well. But that is a story for another day. And that was an illegal copyright strike because, like you seen,
someone being mad.
Yeah, and someone famous as well.
Are you telling me that I am on the line with two copyright infringers? Because I don't know if I can take it.
No, but she hasn't actually. But you know what's funny is YouTube gave me the video back anyway.
Oh, okay.
I had to do a quiz.
Oh, that's so interesting. They're like trying to make sure you're not AI.
Yeah.
They literally don't give a shit about anything anymore, honestly. Safety is gone. Facts are gone. Safety is gone.
Yeah.
So again, more reason why we need to stick together as sane people that are actually trying to be nice in the world and see things for what they are. Like,
That's
do you know
what I think our listener is kind of at the level of you, of like seeing the strings basically get connected. And so then she was really interested in your videos. And I was watching more of your videos and I was like, oh my God, I can tell she knows so much more that I would have to, like, I was like, I can't follow all of it because I don't understand so much of it. You know, but it's starting to make more sense. It is as crazy as it seems, basically.
And you already knew a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I held back in that email because I was like, I can't really say more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the point I very, very, very quickly wanted to make was about Lima.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you, Nathan, I'm like, I do think you have a good, I love the way you two interact together. You have a really good dynamic. But yeah, you were kind of taking Lima's side a little bit much. I was just like, the thing is, I looked so much into Lima. Right.
Yeah. So we found that out too because we did a bonus episode with our other
You're
friends.
right. Because and then I was like,
Emily had more.
She was a scammer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was another thing that annoyed me about the BJ trolls on Twitter is just because they hated BJ, they took up for Lima.
I know.
So therefore, anyone that was like following BJ, look, the reason why I looked into Lima was because BJ wanted us to support her. So I was like, well, I'm not supporting anyone until I've looked into this. So I started to look it up. And that was when I started to find out BJ had got stuff wrong. I was like, Lima doesn't come from a rich family. What are you talking about? Like, they have no assets. Their company's not listed anywhere. They're not on Crunchbase. They don't have any financial backing. And then I started seeing like she was selling brain supplements and all of this stuff and doing like phone giveaways. And I'm like, this girl's a low-key scammer. Like,
oh, so she's like has a past as like a grifter.
Yes. And that's the thing. I'm like, they're both in the wrong. And like Lima really shouldn't have sued BJ for defamation. But at the same time, BJ, did she inflame her? I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's just spent so much money on that damn lawsuit. Why? Was it worth it? I don't.
Right. She's an idiot. That's what we kept being like, Lima is so stupid.
Yeah, she really is not bright.
Yeah, they're both in the wrong. But yeah, I didn't even say as well, like the whole thing about Lou Taylor. That is all bullshit. BJ
oh my
built
God, tell us that.
Yeah,
it's just saying reconnecting, so I hope it's still recording. But yeah, so BJ built her whole career on Lou Taylor's trying to take me down. She found out what law firm I was working at and made them her client so that I would have to leave my job and delete all my
Oh, yeah.
And literally, she's deleted this video, but that was the transcript that I was trying to say that was in that Margera video. Was I'd already screenshotted the transcript where she said to her boss, you know, she made those allegations and her boss was like, we don't know any of that. There's no proof of any of that. We can't go around making wild accusations.
Yeah.
And then she took that one conversation, literally left her job that day, and then turned it into this huge conspiracy that Lou Taylor had stalked her. Whereas it's the other way round. Like, BJ has made, I don't even know how many videos about Lou Taylor. Lou Taylor's never taken any action against her.
Mm-hmm.
Not even at all?
Not even a cease and desist. And then it gets worse because her and Sloan made a video saying that Lou Taylor had sent Sloan a cease and desist. And do you know what? I think he faked it.
He probably did.
I really think that, because then I didn't know who the hell he was. But now, knowing his history and what a scammer he is, I do not believe Lou Taylor gives a shit about any of them.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because
I've never liked Sloan. I look at him and I go, ew. And I don't know why, you know?
Because he's like Paris Hilton. He's just shitting on women and saying everyone has mental health issues with no facts on his side. And like he has spoken about girls, celebrities that I actually know.
Okay.
You know, and I'm like, there's no basis for what he's saying. But he's like, they need an intervention. My God, I've just seen this like totally grainy bit of footage that's been completely filmed illegally.
Well,
and
I
now
think
I'm
it's so funny
diagnosing them with needing with needing a medical intervention, but at the same time you're a free Britney supporter. Like, he's a fake.
The people who are hypocrites seem to be many. It's just always mind-boggling to me. Like this week, I have come across so many hypocrites.
It's the affliction of our time. It really is.
It's really awful, isn't it? Because it's like, I want to like find good people and listen to interesting conversations and like have conversations about stuff. And I'm like, the circle is just getting smaller and smaller every day.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't have other social media platforms is because I want to protect myself. You know, that's another thing. Like, I think not being on Twitter and Instagram, like I just have my YouTube channel, like it protects me from people sending me horrible DMs going, you shouldn't have made that video. You're ugly.
Yeah. Probably true that it does slow that down.
But I would totally love to do like, a live with you.
That would be so fun.
I used to do it on like Sunday night.
Oh,
okay.
And then that would be like Sunday
maybe
afternoon
next
for us.
if you're up for it.
Let's put it on the calendar.
There's so much more to get into. Like,
I know. I was gonna say like this new James Vittuscka thing.
Oh my God! Yes.
Do you understand that? Because I tried to read about it.
Okay, so he was the Daily Mail reporter, yeah?
Yeah.
So he was talking to Leslie Sloan, which is Blake Lively's publicist, in the text. And she was saying, like, and he was saying, look, we've got these stories going out that something's gone on. And she's like, no, it's nothing to do with Blake, like saying she was difficult to work with and stuff like that. She's going, no, it was nothing to do with that. They all hated Justin. Like, I can't speak about it. I'm just getting on a plane. I don't want you to put anything out on the record, but I promise you're being fed lies, right? So the word sexual assault was used, and Brian Friedman used his tech in his defamation lawsuit. We still didn't get on to talking about Brian Friedman, but yeah, Brian Friedman is a bully who allegedly raped someone as well when he was at college. Yeah, so he put out his defamation lawsuit, and James Vittuscka's texts were used, and he said that he'd heard that there'd been a sexual assault, right?
And he just had it wrong.
Yeah, so that was kind of like a linchpin of their defamation suit. Because they were trying to say that information had come from Blake Lively's side. So therefore it was grounds for defamation. Well, as we know, that defamation suit has been dismissed with prejudice. I even put it in my video. So it's so much information to retain in your head. People you have no interest in, really. And so we heard that he'd taken on Mark Garagos as a lawyer, which was like a bit of a plot twist because Mark Garagos is a criminal defense lawyer. So we're like, well, he must be implicated in a crime then. If he's got a criminal defense lawyer, not just a criminal defense lawyer, like P. Diddy's criminal defense lawyer, Chris Brown's criminal defense lawyer. Like this is a heavyweight. This is a heavyweight.
I also think it might not have criminal implications because Garagos is known to be a showboat and an attention whore himself. So
absolutely.
That might be the issue.
Same techniques, fight the case in the press and the public opinion, as Judge Lima even stated in one of the millions of documents. But so then yesterday, James Vittuscka filed a document saying that Melissa Nathan had texted him on Christmas Day. Did you see that as well? She's like, I know it's the holidays. It's like, bitch, it's 1 a.m. on Christmas Day. Like, have you?
Yeah.
I would be livid.
Is he in the UK? Is it?
I think they were over. No, yeah, I think she's over in the US. So I don't know whether.
So maybe she got the time. She was.
Well, it said 1 a.m. on the text. So I think she sent the text at 1 a.m. or. Yeah, maybe he got it at 1 a.m. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. But
I feel like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas are just kind of off limits no matter what. So I don't care if she's doing it on Christmas Eve.
I know.
It's still inappropriate.
Do you know what I mean? Have a day off. Like, really have a day off. So, yeah.
Well, what did the text say?
It say, like, Happy Christmas. She's like, so have you got any more information you can send to Brian? It was a 3-way text with Brian. And so then he didn't answer. He answered it like later on. So then he sent like a whole load of more stuff. And he says nothing about the essay. Everything he's saying is like that it's a denial from Leslie's side and that he's being fed lies. So he's saying that he's now turning whistleblower against the Daily Mail because they were pressuring him to use their legal team and be like the fall guy. He was meant to be like the fall guy with this, because obviously the Daily Mail don't want people to think that they make up stories.
The cat's out of the bag, Daily Mail.
Evidently, he's been... I mean, no one would have thought that, would they?
No, it's such a trusted source.
I believe everything I read in the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
But he's been fired. He's been fired from the Daily Mail and he's turned whistleblower. So, yeah, he's now saying that he didn't say any of that stuff and that they've made him the scapegoat. And there's kind of like a redacted bit of the message, which we can't see, where he was like showing them, because he was saying it would be easier for me to show you a screen recording. So he sent a screen recording of scrolling through his messages that he was being sent. So what they did was, which is exactly what they accused Blake Lively's side of doing, is they cherry picked bits of his message to make it look like he'd said there'd been an allegation of sexual assault to set up Stephanie Jones and Leslie Sloan, right? So honestly, it's so complicated because everyone's lied, everyone's a snake. We, you know, my money is on Melissa Nathan was the lie planter, because I think she has a history of doing that. And even Matthew Hiltzik, her ex-boss, who's, as I've said, been doing this all his life, worked for Weinstein for 5 years. And then there's a quote from him.
Oh, my God.
My money is on her being the snake and the liar and, like, texting people on Christmas Day and all of this stuff that she does.
Yeah.
She is definitely the lowest of the low.
Yeah, but that was my exact reaction when I watched your episode. I'm like, oh, everybody's lying and everybody's awful. I was like, no, there's no redeemable people here.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm not really that fussed about Blake Lively as well. Like, I really don't care too much, you know. I believe that what she said on the set happened. I do. Because it's not even hard to believe.
No.
Yeah.
And like, I know. And he
some
never
people
seemed cool to me, but
people might be like, oh, well, he showed you a video of his wife naked, so what? He tried to kiss you, so what? But I'm sorry, like I said earlier, like, you know, I think the whole point of Me Too was that we were trying to like maintain some professional boundaries. And she definitely seemed like that's all she's trying to do. So, you know, in that respect, I'm definitely on her side, but I don't know her. I don't know what she's like in real life. So it's kind of awkward because it does, you know, I've been lumped into Team Blake and I'm like, I'm not really Team Blake. I'm Team women's rights.
Well, that's the basic thing is I think people, when it's a celebrity involved in their dealing with, like, basically this is a workplace sexual harassment case. And like, no matter if she's an actress, she still has the right, any other person who works in an office, to be like protected from that. And I feel like audiences don't realize. It's like being an actor on a movie set is a job. It's a workplace, just like everything else. And, you know, they deserve the same consideration, people who work in that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And that was the point I made in my first ever video about it.
Yeah.
I said, every woman goes through this experience at work, you know, and what do? You go to your HR. And not only that, but I've been on sets. I've worked in fashion shows. That's exactly what it's like. The producers and you know, when you work for a fashion brand, sometimes the owner of the brand comes in and they just swan about. They walk into the dressing room. They don't care. Like, if you're a small model, you might not even have anyone there with you, like an agent or anything. They feel like they have the right to see them naked. They look at the monitor, all the things that she was saying. You know, that is standard in that industry. Like, there's literally no one to protect you, no one to stand up for you. And if you don't have an agent or a manager present to, like, stand in and go, do you mind? Then you're literally vulnerable to whoever's there. And photographers, the amount of photographers I've had to sit in on perving and trying to chat up the model is just ridiculous. You know, it's like, this is what goes on. And like, what I'm trying to say is, like, you can't just, like, dehumanize people just because they're celebrities. Like, they're still humans. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, should we wrap it up? Because I think his phone's about to die.
Sorry.
And my back is about to die.
But it's been so lovely, honestly.
It really has. It's so nice to be you. You have instilled great fear and even more loathing in me. Yeah.
Don't be fearful. Like, I'm really, honestly, I think this whole troll navigation is possible. If you don't engage with them.
We all need to have more of a sense of humor about ourselves.
Some of their takes are so dumb. It's like, oh my God, this is actually making me laugh out loud.
Yeah. This is like literally the tiniest issue, and seriously, you want to change your life about it. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Sophie, tell everyone where they can find you.
Okay, so my channel is Go Do Your Own Research.
Okay, we will tag your channel.
So I kind of keep my real identity. Yeah, it's very. So you can post it, and then I can say, I've done this podcast. We're going to go live on Sunday.
All right. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for listening.
Nice meeting you. All right.
Scrolling through my feed, all I see is bullshit, fake news, clickbait. Gotta sift through all of it. Share, retweet, trying to keep up with the trends, but it's all just a facade, man, it's all pretend. Online bullshit, that's all it is. You say you're living large, but I know it's just a myth. Online bullshit, can't you see? We're all caught up in the nonsense, it's time to break free. Pretend. Online bullshit, that's all it is. You say you're living large, but I know it's just a myth. Online bullshit, can't you see? We're all caught up in the nonsense, it's time to break free.